Welcome to self-discoverywisdom.com, formerly known as Self-Discovery Media. On these podcasts, you're going to hear people who speak from the heart. They've taken the journey in life. Many things have happened to them, but they've changed it to happening for them. And in their strength, their courage, they've discovered their abilities and their wisdom, and they are now sharing it here with you. Do enjoy each show. We bring it to you with love and knowing that it's going to help you on your journey of life. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition for the love of music right here on self-discoverywisdom.com. I'm your host, Sarah Troy, and all the way from Dubai is SWAPNA Abraham. This is her third show with us. She's been with us before talking about her music. She broke a world record when she did 1,000 songs for 1,000 days, and she actually increased it with having children's songs for 1,000 songs for, and she did this from April 2018 to January 2020. I mean, just incredible every single day putting out a new song. But now she's put together all these beautiful songs for children, kind of from the age of 4 to 12. Though I have a 2.5-year-old who's liking the music, so, it's all, you let your kids listen to it. It's all beautiful. And there's songs about life and their world and the world at large, and visionary and factual songs that impart values to the young mind, songs that encourage them to dream, that inspire them, songs that trigger their imagination, songs that nurture them and educate them, and songs that help them through the process of their emotions. Loud songs, soft songs, colorful and sad songs, to play and clap and sing and dance and sleep to, even to meditate to. So we're going to be speaking with Swapna today on the music. I mean, it's quite incredible that she can come up with these songs every single day. But, I mentioned back in a show way back then is that it's got to be put together. And, how is it going to happen with people? The QR codes, right? And put them in the book so people can go back to the music, and because the music needs to be heard. And these songs are short and sweet because that's kind of the attention span of a kid, right? Short and sweet.
Absolutely.
And they like to repeat and repeat and repeat. So it's something that they can repeat on. We've got 3 songs here, and we'll be closing out with Children of the World, which is beautiful. But music is in you, darling, and you can't help it. The music is you. You are the music.
Oh, that's
And
a nice way of saying it.
and I know while you were doing all your other songs, in came with the children's songs and now putting them together. But how much fun has it been in putting all these kids' songs together?
At the outset, Sarah, first of all, thank you for the wonderful welcome, warm as ever, and introduction. I'm not a children's song writer. I'm not a children's song singer either. So, my plan was to do 1,000 regular songs in 1,000 days, one song every day from April 2017 to January 2020. How and set one world record. And then when I knew that that was not a legit world record, I thought, let me do something that's legit, and
Why
do a
wasn't it a legit
second,
record?
because there was someone already doing a
Ah,
song every day for more than 1,000 days, with
ah,
the only difference that um, what I planned to do at the time and eventually did was I was doing it live. So the other person who had been doing it was uploading one every day. You've never
ah,
seen the person make it. So
ah.
full benefit of the doubt to the creator and respect. But it's easy for a person to sit and work on 7 songs in a Sunday and then upload one every day.
Yes.
So the onus of proof is on the one making it, and which is
Mhm,
why for world records you need someone to verify, validate, so on and so
mhm.
forth. And when the songs were composed live, you don't need that anymore, right? People have
Right.
seen you do it. There's a Facebook page.
Yeah.
So I decided I'd do a second song every day to establish legitimacy in a world record. And at the time there was not even any. I something I'd applied for seemed not to be real. I was going to do something more. I didn't know if that would be a record. And at the end of the day, I was like, let me do something that feels unique
Mm,
in its own right. Let me be the one to feel it's unique. Someone doesn't need to tell me, right?
right.
Eventually, if there's an organization that accepts it, well and good. But otherwise, if I'm going to do something for 1,000 days, it had better be worth it, right?
Yes.
So there you go. And I thought a regular song every day. Okay, I come from a gospel music background. It's very likely that several of those thousand songs, one every day, would be a gospel song. Some of them. So I didn't want to make another regular song. I thought, let me try a children's song. And I was like, that's going to be easy. I mean, kids songs, they're usually short. They're rhymes, right? I mean, but guess what? A regular song took me like the usual time to make it. When I started off, it was like 1 hour, a little more than an hour when I started off. And the children's song, I had no idea. And it surprised me so much that it was not easy writing songs for kids, because the way you compose, you've really got to get into the kids' mind. What do
Yeah.
they expect? That's the audience, right?
Hmm.
What do they expect in the songs? And at the same time, you don't want to be the total kid pleaser, because this is an opportunity to do something that's going to
Hmm.
educate them, do different from the normal kid songs. And I'm doing it on a daily basis. So when I started off, I was like, just had no idea how to go about it. Eventually, I thought, exactly. Eventually, I thought, you know what? This is giving me the opportunity to give something to
Hmm.
this wonderful strata of humanity, right? And not just them. Guess what? Because whether they like it or not, parents end up listening to these songs.
And grandparents.
Grandparents,
Yes.
nannies, and
Yes.
caretakers, and
Hmm.
so what?
Siblings.
Siblings, exactly, older siblings. I'm like, first of all, everyone's going to listen to it. There should be something for all of them, and it has got to be musically beautiful, because I know how you listen to some children's songs and it's like, oh my goodness, they just keep playing it on repeat, don't they? And
Yeah.
after a point, after a point, you're like, you wish they just stop, because it's that usual tune and the usual beat and the usual orchestration.
Hmm.
It gets irritating after a point. So when you have the opportunity to do 1,000 of them, right? Just a few of them are like that. Well, not a few, a little more than a few of them are like that, the typical children's song. And most of them are the children's themes. But here's the difference. And I thought, let me make some of them like children. Now, they love normal music.
Hmm.
If
Hmm.
you've seen how they've taken to the Disney songs,
Yes.
Let It Go and songs like that, and they
Hmm.
sing those tough
Oh,
songs.
yes.
It's like, it's just, they have the appetite. It's
Yes.
just that we never call them children's songs, right? So I'm like, they can actually appreciate and try to sing great songs, proper
Hmm.
songs.
Hmm.
So I love doing it, and it was so difficult to begin with, Sarah. But I I I, I thought, wow, this is really a giving back to the community. And at the end of it, so here it was. It was 2,321 songs, as we shared during one of our last chats. I mean, seriously, in 1,000 days, 1,000 of which were for kids. I never went into studio producing any of those songs, because
Hmm.
you know what? I don't want to do it. I'm so tired of
Hmm.
doing this, right? But this, the 1,000 children's songs, is like, hmm, what's the point of just making them and not giving it back for them to listen to?
Exactly.
You've made great demos. They're over there on SoundCloud. They're not going to listen to demos. They have to be studio produced. So you wouldn't believe it. I'm like, oh my goodness, I really am going to studio produce them. Again, the whole thing of hiring a studio for 1,000 songs, finding someone to orchestrate that many songs, and what budget are we talking about? So I was very
Yes.
blessed to find. I know I was very blessed to find a wonderful guy, Edwin Johnson, who said he would orchestrate them. Right, and then I thought, it's not going to be just songs. It's got to be a book, a children's
Hmm.
songbook. I needed someone to do the illustrations, 1,000 illustrations, just like the orchestration person. People were running away when I said the number 1,000. They go, oh, we can't do. How do you expect us to do? And if they ever said yes, they'd be like, come with some humongous figure, right?
Yes.
Luckily, got someone to do that as well, but unfortunately, that's been so delayed. No complaints. I'm really glad that we're still going to have a product.
Hmm.
But I literally ended up soundproofing one of the rooms in my mom's backyard to record all these songs, because it was just so much studio time.
Yeah.
And luckily I learned how to do proper voice recording, so I could send it back to this gentleman who was doing the orchestration and mixing, mastering, so on and so forth. Finally, I'm so glad I see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Hmm.
I started recording these from June. I mean, doing voice. Initially, I was thinking like 5 songs a day. And I was like, did I even do the math? If I'm doing 5 songs a day, how many days is it going to? I need to get back to life. I'm not going to just sit and record 5 songs a day. For how long? 1,000 songs. Started with 5 a day, went to 10 a day, went to 20 a day. In the last week, believe it or not, the last 2 days, I sang 50 songs a day.
Wow.
I thought I was going to die because
Your voice must be so raw after that. Don't speak to me, I can't speak.
no. Sarah, when I finished singing 50 songs a day, the first of the 2 days, I was like, I never want to sing in my life again, do I? Like, why? Why do I hurt myself so much by
Yes.
taking up these, when I beg your pardon, but when people finally get to listen to your product, it's 1,000 children's songs in a book. Oh,
Hmm.
yeah. But the amount, from a production perspective, if it's just
Yeah.
one person that's been doing it, okay, that's a good and bad part of it.
Yeah.
The amount that it takes out of one person to sing
Yeah.
all that, and then you review them, and then you correct them, and
Uh-huh.
the same with the illustrations. 1,000 illustration reviews after giving the idea for those 1,000
Yes.
illustrations. It's like, I was literally going, I was like, oh my God, I actually committed to doing this project, didn't
Hmm.
I? To myself. Nobody's going to know if I just chicken and don't do it.
Hmm. Hmm.
But here's the whole give back. I wanted to give it back to the community, properly made, and I'm so glad it's going to be out. Not for Christmas. I hope. Oh, there you go again. So it's not all on one album. The book is going to be, first we thought 2 books, 500 each, right? No,
Hmm.
it's going to be 5 books, 200 songs in a book.
Good.
And a song will have an illustration, text like you see a poem,
Hmm.
and then 2 QR codes for each song. One with the logo and one without the logo. So the one with the logo is a song, and the one without the logo is the karaoke, the minus. So the kids can learn and they can sing.
Wow. So, I mean, 1,000 songs, having to get a studio, having to get an illustrator, having to get somebody to do the mixing, somebody to do the orchestra, and then you're going to put it into books, and they can sing along to it by reading the words, and they can listen to it with the QR codes. But this is just one thing piled on top of the other. So yes, I'm just going to do 1,000 songs, and then it's like, what the dot dash dash that have I committed myself to?
No, no, we don't understand because we just don't understand how much work it's going to take
Yes,
out of and time and effort
yes,
and for how long. You got to get back to life at some point. It's not like when I was doing 20 songs a day, I couldn't do anything else, and
no.
50 songs I couldn't even eat properly. So it's like, it's like,
And I'm sure while you're sleeping, the songs are just in and out of your dreams as
oh,
well.
but you know what, that here's the wonderful part, right? While singing some of them, I have to say that some of these songs are very therapeutic, because I'll tell you what, as adults, I have a song, for example, called The Day That Baby Was Born. As an older child,
Mhm.
what that child has gone through, the day that the younger sibling's born, the parents are suddenly all over the younger one, and the
Mhm.
older one's like, just feeling
Left
left
out.
out and
Mhm.
neglected and that. And then suddenly this child, and all this is in a song, by the way, this child has looks at that baby and says, guess what? That's also mine. It's not just theirs.
Yes.
And then that realization and the joy that comes. So when I was singing that, it was therapeutic for me because I'd been through the experience in my childhood. Probably I didn't realize it, right? I'm
Mhm.
the older of two. And so many of those songs were just doing stuff to me while I was singing,
Yeah.
and doing stuff
But
to
don't
me
forget, it was
again when I
coming
was
from
reviewing.
you. So
Yeah,
it
but
is the internal therapy coming out to feed the outside
most,
in
and it's addressed to the child that we
within.
used to be.
Hmm.
It's addressed to we're all adults now listening and to those songs, I'm like, there is still that child in us that
Yeah.
needs some healing, some
Yes.
comfort, some
Yes.
consolation, and some a broader understanding of what was going on when we were kids and we didn't get it.
No. Hmm.
Yeah, so I can't. I'm not promoting these songs by saying these, but I'm. It's a genuine admission that they help me when I'm listening to them.
So it doesn't matter what level anybody's at, whether it's, the kid hearing it for the first time and just hearing the words, or a sibling hearing it and go, I relate to that, or a parent hearing it and go, oh, my inner child is hearing that, or even a grandparent saying, gosh, I haven't heard from you in a while. Right? So it doesn't matter who's
Yes,
listening to it, everybody's going to relate to it wherever they're at.
yes, yes, absolutely. And in people holding different offices, there was a song, for example, if children were ruling the world. I know that we think it'd be chaotic, but then
Mm,
think about pure innocence and
yeah,
pure love
yeah.
and genuine caring and no biases ruling the world. So there's a song about if children were ruling the world. Now think about that from a politician listening to it, and what are we doing? What are we doing? This should be the authentic emotion that I should have as in this office, you
Well,
know?
what should
And
happen first is the song that ignites the inner child of them, and then
yes,
this song about ruling the world, right? Because uh, appealing to the adult in the adult ego might take a while to get through,
yes,
but having the song that's appealed to the child within them and awoken that child, and now children ruling the world, I think would then definitely relate because they're seeing
absolutely.
it from a child's perspective and not from their ultra ego perspective.
Yes, yes, indeed. And so the illustrations try to convey all this. We've got to be so careful, right, about biases that come through picturization, that come through our lyrics, so on and so forth. For example, I'm a gospel songwriter. So can you imagine when I'm singing on the first hundreds of songs were like normal kid songs, right? But at a point, I was doing 3 songs every day, one of which was this. At a point, I was doing 7 songs every day, one of which was this, and the other one was a normal song, and the other 5 was gospel, absolutely gospel songs, right? So you can't imagine they ask you have writer's block when you're doing so many a day. I say no. I tell you why, Sarah. Because if you always have some kind of an undercurrent of emotion in your life,
Yeah.
be it worship, be it God, be it something,
Something you believe
and
in.
you run out of exactly if you run out of topics and you're put on the spot and you've just got to show up, that will come out. So
Yeah.
on these days when I had 21 songs in one day, all of these many songs in a day, I by default I would just come up with thank you God song for the child
Mm.
for the
Hmm.
children song, like, you know what, so when anyone listens to them, the whole project, they're going to say, oh, there's a lot of God songs there, or even Christian, because that's the only thing that I know, right? So Christian songs, and I'm like, so people, I hope I'll be able to convey that there's no attempt to proselytize, if you know what I
Yeah.
mean. It's just I was doing this project. This is
Hmm.
me doing children's songs. So and I would say I'm taking this opportunity, Sarah, to actually say that we use this whatever happened by default to tolerate others, and
Hmm. Exactly.
mine, yours, everyone. So I don't want to apologize for that. That's
No,
who I am. That's where I'm coming from, right?
exactly. And also, take a listen with different ears without
Yes,
prejudice. Right,
absolutely,
without yours or
absolutely.
mine, it is about us. I mean, each one of us come in a different package, different skin color,
Hmm.
different shape and size, different
Absolutely.
ethnicity, different points of view. And if we kind of looked at ourselves as a smoker board and kind of got to taste each other's opinions instead of coming up with our opinion saying it's the only one, we would be so much more abundant. So I think having them in there, whether somebody is Christian or not, but just listening to it and go, well, I'm not Christian, but however the words are speaking to me, right?
Yes,
So it's
absolutely.
no prejudice, just listen. We don't do enough of just listen. We
Hmm.
always come up with excuses. We always come up with, I mean, what's going on right now. I'm just going to bring a little political thing in here with Israel and Gaza, and people standing up saying, what happened to Israel is wrong, but what's happening to Gaza is annihilation. And
Absolutely.
somebody's got to have some cooler heads and prevail. And there's
Yes,
many
yes.
people that have stood up and said that, and they're being beaten down for it. And it's like they're standing up for humanity. What the hell are you doing? Right?
Correct.
If you're going
Correct.
to
Yeah.
fire someone for standing up for humanity, what kind of world are we in that that's
Hmm.
politically or correct? And we need our children to remind us that we're all the
Yes,
same and we need to stand up for each other. And these kind of songs empower them to have a voice, empower them
absolutely.
to say, I can sing a song, I can be heard. I have a voice. Just because I'm little doesn't mean I can't be heard.
Absolutely. Sarah, so agree that in fact, now that see, I can't remember what those thousand songs were all about. I remember some, but not, I clearly don't remember all. I know there was a song called something like No More War, No War.
Mm,
There is a song called something like Stop the Shooting. Remember the
yeah,
people just go in malls and shoot and all that stuff. And just protect life,
yeah,
plant trees,
yes.
um, clean beaches, clean
Hmm. Yes.
keep us
Messages that need to be heard in a song because then they'll be heard better. But yes, this isn't political. I wish people would take goddamn politics out of everything and just look
exactly
at and look at our heart and souls and go, where are we standing on the side of life?
correct. And children have a voice too,
And they have an
because
incredible voice and observation,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely, absolutely, and it's wonderful to see how their innocence is. It's something we have to learn from.
Yeah.
So when you write these songs for kids, you tend to get that child mind again, and
Yes.
then you're like, wow, that's how it felt like.
Yeah. Yes.
You were looking at the world differently at the time, and what happened? Where did we just
I
lose not
know.
just
Where
the
do we go
innocence? Where do
wrong?
we lose good sense?
I know. But because you're having to simplify it for a child, we simply look at the equation simply instead of highfalutin
Exactly.
and complicating it because we think that's intellectualism. No, sometimes the simple is the way to go.
No, absolutely. I I
Simply
I,
don't
I
hurt
couldn't
each
agree
other.
more. Exactly. I couldn't. And see, I have nothing against nursery rhymes that say Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall, or Jack and Jill rolled down the hill, or the spider came and bit someone. Or,
Yeah, Mary.
but I know. You know what? I wanted these songs to empower the kids,
Right.
not to frighten. I wanted them to know I can be the best I can be.
Yes.
Just put my best foot forward. um, you are the greatest miracle. I am the
Yeah.
greatest
Yeah.
miracle. So I can do all things. Anything is possible if I want to do it.
Yeah.
And that kind. So, mm, who is Spider-Man? Who is Superman? That's just us.
Well, that is,
We can-
we've created an image to go and fix things in the world.
Mm,
Right? But we are not only the problem, but we're also the solution. And if we
correct.
empower the solution, which is in each and every one of us, stepping up, stepping out, making the changes necessary in our own life to find our own self love, our own
Yes.
compassion, our own
Yes.
kindness, then we bring that out to the world and we become that solution. So the more we can inspire questioning, the more we can inspire depth, the more we can inspire liberty, the more we can inspire love, the more we're actually feeding the solution.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. We created one. We have the answer to the problem as well.
Yes.
We
What
can fix it. We have to
let's put
fix
more
it.
emphasis on the fixing rather than the problem, because people see the
Correct.
problem and they go round and round and round and round with the problem. Well, you're a parent, right? It's roll up your sleeves. There's a problem. We're going to do such and such and resolve it, not talk about it endlessly, right? We don't have
Absolutely.
time for that.
No, no. And the thing about virtues,
Mm,
values, taking care of the elderly,
yeah.
grandparents, respect,
Mhm.
um, treating everyone with dignity and respect, no matter what work they do. Um, songs are so powerful
Yeah.
to convey these to the
Yes.
young mind. A simple song like "Mommy, how can I help you?" I remember that kind of lyrics being in one song. "Mommy, how can I help you?" So when a child sings this a few times, "Mommy, how can I help you?" It's so, or "Daddy, are you sad today?"
Mm.
It's not always "Help me, help me." Can
Yeah.
I help you? I have
Yes,
so much joy to
exactly.
give.
But also instilling in them the joy of helping, the joy of
Correct.
giving. Because you
Correct.
know what people don't realize, it isn't just the joy you receiving all the time. The
Hmm.
gift of giving is already
Yes.
a gift to you, right?
Yes,
And the
indeed.
more they can learn that when they're young, the more that they will seek in the giving. And obviously not giving to a point that they become, depleted within themselves, which most mothers
Correct.
do, right? Give, give,
Yes.
give, and not
Yes.
balance. But it is about that joy of doing for others, helping someone
Yes.
else, lifting somebody else up, just making
Yes.
somebody else smile, right? I'm going to go out
Absolutely.
today and ignite 12 smiles,
Yes, of
right?
course. Yes, yes. There is a smile song. There's so many smile songs. There's so many let's help them songs, you
Yeah.
know?
Yes, we need
There's
that.
yes, I can make a difference in the world song with just my little hands and my little things.
Well, you know what I find about, people who write children's books, and yours is, a book and musical rolled into one, which is beautiful. But for the parents reading it or the grandparents reading it, it becomes such a reset for them,
Yes,
right? They
indeed.
go back into that childlike, they look at things more simply. It becomes a reminder of something, that a path they've taken, a reminder of a more simple path. And so, it isn't just for the children, it's for the entire family.
I realized that in the making of this project that we underestimate, maybe I'm wrong, or because I just didn't know it earlier, we underestimate the power of children's literature.
Yes.
It is so powerful. And in fact, as simple, we said simple quite a few times in this conversation.
It's obviously the
This,
theme.
isn't it? Isn't it? It's just going back to the basics
Mm.
and cutting the sophistication, sticking to the facts, being
Mm.
honest about things. I'm afraid I can talk about it
Yeah.
instead of no, no, there's no need to pretend. Um, so I really think children's literature is very powerful. We
Yes.
can break, we can make, we can inspire, we can discourage people for life, scar people for life. It's just the way we use it, right?
Yeah.
So I was very particular. I know that by making things a little gory or wary, or there's an excitement in a different sense, from a worldly sense, from the adult world sense,
Mm.
right? Just I deliberately kept those away from
Yeah.
the book,
Good.
from the
Good.
songs.
They
Yeah,
get enough
yeah,
of that elsewhere.
excellent.
I've got a book coming out next year, an anthology with some wonderful contributors, and it's our Forgotten Children book series. And it's how we're
Okay.
actually leaving our children behind because we're dictating who they should be, what they should learn,
Yes,
um, all the shoulds in the world, rather than
yes,
embracing who they are and nurturing the
correct.
gift of what they've been given, and how we need to change. We need to change
Yes,
this perspective. So it's an awareness book with an invitation to be a part of the solution. And each contributor is either a teacher or somebody who works with
yes,
children,
teachers as well. Teachers indeed.
teach,
Yes,
and
yes.
it's each one of them has come from a background of being with children. And
Hmm.
it's empowering because they do address the problem, why we need to address it, but how simple the
Yes,
solution is. And
yes,
one of them is listen to your children, pay attention to them. Don't tell them, no, that's wrong. They're doing it.
yes,
Okay. Can I help you with this? Would you like to try a different way? Oh, I see you're doing it like that. That's interesting. But we dictate to them all the time instead of allowing them to explore. How about we look at that wonderful exploration and go, I forgot how to explore. This is wonderful. How can I get back into that wonderment of life? Right? Because it's so intoxicating. You're watching your children. Well, I've got two baby grandchildren, just watching them in discovery. doing,
Yes.
whatever the little heads, you could see stories going on in their head, and little eyes are going and they're smiling and they're off playing. And you're like, I wonder what's in their little mind. I'd love to know where they're at
Yes.
in their space right now. We've forgotten how the wonderment is. And I think keeping that
Absolutely.
wonderment alive in our children through us listening to the music, not only are we going to
Yes.
keep them wonderment, but maybe we're going to inspire it back inside ourselves.
I believe so. Even for example, the treatment of mistakes.
Yes.
How we don't be too hard on yourself because there are a couple of more than a couple of songs about mistakes. There's a song, I hear what you say, but I see what you do.
Mm,
Um, and that as a parent, as a grandparent, that was while I was writing it, it's like speaking to me. Like, we always
mm,
tell them what to do,
mm.
but we are also doing things and they are watching that, right?
Yes.
There's a song
Yes.
as simple as put that phone down. Because I remember when my children were much younger, they were like, "You're always on your phone." You see,
Yeah.
I know the parents get to hear that a lot. Just put the
Uh-huh.
phone down for a bit, and
Yes.
afterwards, what happens is that children are also on their phones all the time, and then we're like, "Keep that phone down," and we're like, "They learned it from us."
Yes, of course they did. And they've forgotten how, you look at teenagers, they can all go out for a meal. Nobody's talking to each other. They're busy
All
on their
on their
phones.
on phones,
They've
yeah.
forgotten actually how to have interaction, which is
Correct.
scary,
Correct.
very, very scary.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and I think having a song that a kid loves and then another kid gets into it and they either
Yes.
dance or they sing along to it or they goof along to it, but they're
Yes.
all in it
Yes.
and experiencing it in their own way. You can't help but have a cheek to cheek smile on that one because you're just watching them engaged.
Yes. Yes, yes, indeed. Sarah, I have to mention, I'm probably digressing from our discussion, but I want to thank you. When we had our last chat, um, and this was one of the things we discussed, right? The Children's Songs Project. At the time, I just knew I was going to bring out the book. I knew I was going to bring out songs, but I didn't know how. When was I going to give out a CD with the book? Was I going to give out a USB with the book? But while we were speaking, it's like a light just lit somewhere, and I was like, guess what? QR codes.
Yes. Why don't you
That's
put that in
exactly
the
it.
book? And then
That's
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 where the
exactly
phone
how it's
comes in
happened.
on the QR code, and there's the music.
That that's so when my grandkids were down last month, and I told them I've done this project. I'm doing this project, and the songs are going to be QR codes, and you just have to scan them with your phone and play them. They were looking at me like, "Wow,
Wow, Grandma, far out. But you know what's
isn't
good
that
about that
amazing?"
is that it
Yeah.
does actually require grandma or adult to
In
scan it, right, for the
Correct.
younger ones. So
Correct.
that means that they've got to be engaged in it as well,
Correct. It's not
right?
just the kids.
It's not just putting
Absolutely.
on the music or hey Google play this and parents are off doing their things. It's
Yes.
like which
Yes.
one do you want? Okay, let's read the story. Now let's play
It,
the music. Engagement again.
yes. Yes. It's like when bedtime stories
Yes,
need to be read out to them.
yes.
The
Interactive.
parent, absolutely. It's
Yeah,
it's it's engaging. It's not just putting that bedtime audio on and then
yeah.
letting them be with the audio.
And it's back to that conversation. You were wondering how you were going to put it in there, and I didn't know call them QR codes because I didn't quite know what they were called at that point. Since then, I've now
Right.
used them. But it's like yeah, you can have something in the book that they just scan, and that's the thing is all you need sometime is somebody to go, oh yes, right. I can do
Absolutely.
that,
You have that moment.
and that's what we do for each other. Somebody
Hmm.
said, I'm doing this, but I'm having a little problem with that, and somebody says, have you tried this?
Hmm.
Holla, there we go.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what interaction and support of each other is all about, right? Filling in those gaps that sometimes we just don't see.
Yes. Absolutely. It's collaborative
Mm,
creativity.
yeah.
And this aspect is actually in integrating technology
Yes.
into something as simple as a children's book.
I know.
It's
And
this
I
when
bet the
tech
first one too.
I'm I've spoken about it so much, I won't be surprised if someone else
Somebody
is
else
going
is
to do
doing it.
something.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. It still will not be 1,000 songs because
Exactly.
God knows the effort that goes into it.
I dare someone else to do another 1,000 songs the way you've done it. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Um, I mean, but that's what makes you so unique. You say you're going to do something, and perhaps you don't actually register how much time and effort it's going
You're
to take from
right.
you, right? But
You're
you've committed to
absolutely
it,
right. Yes.
and you do it. But I think what the beauty of it is you're in the moment. Like when you were right, you wrote and did the music for all of these songs. These are not coming from
Yeah.
anywhere else. They're coming from
No.
you. And so
Yes.
it was your creative channel had to be wide open all the time for you to dip into. But is there a process, or was there a process when you were creating these songs and doing it, another one each day that you would go into? Was it meditative? Was it a certain channel in your head that you went to? Or was it like press the button, open my mouth and see what comes out?
There was nothing at all. I was just I had my day job. I was
Mm,
making these songs before or after work. Initially after and then before. After work, from a creative perspective, is easy because you've lived through the day,
mhm.
you've been through a lot. Something or the other is enough material for a song.
Right.
But when you're starting your songwriting at 4 a.m.
Mm.
and you've just gotten out of your sleep, the best or worst song you can write is about sleeping. Which I have done, which I which I have done, but
Am I going back to sleep?
I'm telling you. So I've heard some creative people say that the best time of creativity for the human mind
Mm,
is that 4 a.m. And I never believed it because I'm not a morning person.
mm.
But just for the sake of, because this was a world record thing attached to it, an attempt attached to it, keeping it for the end of the day was getting a little dangerous from a what if there's a and it happened and delay this or that if you're past 12 p.m. you've lost. So I thought it's just safer keeping it at the start of the day. Okay, I'm going to sleep at 8:30 p.m. I'm going to wake up at 3:30 a.m. I'm going to start singing from 4 a.m. I'm going to do that for several hundred days. Never mind, I'm not a morning person. I'm going to do it. Don't even ask me how I'll write songs. you know I don't even know how I'm going to wake up. But
I'm singing in my
exactly.
sleep.
Oh my goodness, but it was just amazing. And in the quiet of the morning, because
Yeah.
it's not night,
Mhm.
the 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 ideas that just come to mind are
Yes.
just unbelievable. I'm like, where's it coming from? Seriously,
I know.
it
That's when
surprised
I'm
me.
most creative at night. Um, and I will wake up. I've always got a movie going on in my head, always. And this last weekend, I was at a concert, brilliant choir singing and just
Oh,
extraordinary music. And the way I listen to it is I close my eyes and see what movie goes to it. And a movie is created along by the music. But I will wake up in the night and like such clarity. I just wish there was a chip in my head and I could just go record, right? Because that's
wow.
the creativity. And there is something about the peace of the night. It's also you're switched off from the day. So the channels are completely open and clear channels. They're not contaminated by what's happened in the day or the emotions or the fatigue or the anxiety, right? It's just open, clear channel ready to download. So it is a beautiful time to do that.
And I really think, from a humility in creating perspective, from that not perspective, standpoint, I really think the songs you write in the morning are just a gift.
Hmm.
You don't have much to do with it. The
Right.
songs you write at the end of the day, you've lived the day. You've got stuff
So
to
it's a
write about.
reflection of the day.
Exactly.
Mm.
Something or the other during the day, you
Yeah.
lost your temper. Something wonderful happened.
Right.
There's always something to write about.
Right.
But at the start of the day, you haven't even started. What are you gonna? Those songs, I just think, are just given to you. You're
Yes,
just
they are.
gifted with
Channel
them.
down,
You
download
don't
it.
even know what.
Yeah.
You've just woken up from your sleep. There's
Mhm.
no particular emotion except that. Thank you, God, that I've woken up another day. I'm gonna live this
Gratitude.
day.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, and of course, when I'm out of topics to write about, I will write something that has to do with with faith or God. That's because that's always there, right?
Hmm.
And as I mentioned earlier, but otherwise, those songs come in the morning. Once I wrote a song about playing in the rain in a football pitch in the morning. And I'm like, where is that coming from? You know?
I love those downloads because the thing is that they don't always make sense until they do.
Yes,
Right? The
indeed.
way they come to you and you go, what? And then you kind of put it aside. And then later on, it comes up where it's rearranged itself. And now,
Yeah,
I see it, right? Yeah. Now it makes sense.
absolutely. Yes, I'm so thrilled. I'm so thrilled. Although it was so painful, I am so thrilled that I'm close to the end of the project.
Right. Yes. It is a huge project. I mean, you've taken on two enormous projects, both the 1,000 days, but there's now obviously, I mean, I doubt you're going to go, I'm going to now take all those adult songs and put them into a book.
No, you can't. You know, I was telling, who was I telling the other day? I think the person I fear the most in my life is myself.
Yeah.
Is myself.
You've
I'm
got
just
one
done.
part of yourself saying, I'm going to do this, and the other side goes, no, no, no.
And you know what? I'm like, just the other day, and I'm still not done with creating QR codes for hundreds of these songs. I'm still working on
Yes,
it, right?
yes, yes.
And then, and just the other day, because I finished singing mid-October, it's been a good time since I've sung anything. Just the other day, I'm like, how about doing the 200 Psalm songs? I'm like, stop it, stop it. Are you even listening to yourself?
Yes. I know, I know, I know. You come up, that's the trouble with the creative mind. The
Oh,
creativity comes out in you. And and you can see it completely. And when I get those creative moments, I then create a graphic. Right. And that graphic is this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. But just like you, it kind of has been time in process of working. It's been, I was given a vision, next year would be 6 years. And it's taken me that long for the things to start coming into place, right? Because when
wow.
it has to be the right people, the right time,
Yes.
the right project, because the template of what I was meant to do, nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong. It was the how, who, what, and where, that I was meant to do it. And now, again, with these books and then the educational platform and then everything else that we're doing is all now coming into being.
Isn't it amazing?
And
It's like a
let me,
path that was already there and you're
yes,
just walking
yes,
it when it's time.
yes, yes. You were given the direction to go in, but you had to have the journey's experience to know
Yeah.
what to do on that direction, on that platform. And it's beautiful, but it can be exasperating.
It
I
was
know,
just
right? Yes,
frustrating. My
yes, yes,
goodness.
yes.
There were occasions when I was so distraught with exhaustion. I wanted to record a voice note telling myself, please don't do this again. Please
Did you?
don't do, no, I didn't.
No,
Please
why
don't
not?
do this again.
Look,
if you ever feel, if you ever feel like,
you're you. I'm sorry, I've known you for a long time now. You will do this again
oh
in
no,
some other format, in some other format, in some other way, because you can't stop the creativity of you. Right? This is who you are, and this is what you are meant to share. This is what you're meant to spend. Whether it's 1,000 this or 1,000 that or book or whatever, you will do something else because there's no holding you back. And then, it's like as much as you want to argue with yourself, like, shut up, I'm not listening. It's the creative side of you will be just bursting to come out and you'll submit. But I'll be quite intrigued to know what it is in the future.
oh
But
my
right now you're
goodness,
still in
Sarah.
mode. You got to have a break
Ah,
between for sure.
oh, please, please. There's no, there's no, is this one's mission? Because
Mm.
I was never meant to write these 1,000 songs to begin with.
Who
Never
said?
children songs.
Who said?
Never children.
Who
I mean,
said
exactly.
though? Who said?
From what I envisioned,
Right.
I thought there were going to be 1,000 normal songs. Some would definitely be gospel because I am a
Yeah.
gospel
Right.
songwriter, right?
I love gospel music.
I never thought children's songs,
Right.
1,000 children's songs, and then go to make them, put them in a book, all those lovely illustrations, really me? Do I look like the person that would do it?
But that's the beauty of creativity. Why cap yourself? I'm only going to do this. I'm only for that. No, you're a creative,
Absolutely.
and your
Yeah, yeah,
creativity has to come out in any which way it comes out. You can't fight it. You just have to go with
absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. And this is the talent of everyone, right? That person doing the orchestration. You can only give them a demo, but they bring their own flavor to whatever they're
Yes.
doing. Correct? Same with the illustrator. You tell them what it's got to be. The lyric is obvious what it's got to
Mm.
be, and then they make something. And I am not an expert in reviewing illustrations, but there you go. I am actually doing it. I'm
Well, that
actually
but the
saying
point
this and
is
that.
you're handing your creativity off to another creative to translate that creativity in
Correct.
graphic form, right? So
Beautiful.
it's their interpretation of the song in a graphic form.
It's
Uh,
amazing. It's
and that's the
amazing.
beauty because what it is now, yes, you can have a soloist on the dance floor, but when you get the other dancers coming in, creating the picture, suddenly the soloist is you see them so much more because of the picture that's being created around them by the other dancers. So we need those other creatives. Some people, I'm a true colors coach, which there's 4 different personality types. Some people are visual, some people are audio, some people the
Right.
interactors, some people kind of more um, inquisitive, need to know the root of the cause of everything. Some people, I just feel it, I've got to go with it. Some people, it's like, how can I monetize it? And other people are like, I see it, So it's giving them everything. You're giving them
Mm,
the music, you're giving them the story, you're giving them the graphic, and you're giving them the ability to interact because mom or dad or grandparent has to come along with the QR. And this
correct.
is going to be a great
It's
lesson for the grandparents out there that don't know how to do this. What do I, and believe me, I was like that with the QRs. How come I'm
I
taking a
know.
picture of it? What do I do with it now? No, you don't take a picture, Mum. You just hold it over until something comes up. Why isn't it
And
coming up? So I was
it's
one of
not
those
like
grandmas.
exactly. It's like I remember the first time I scanned the QR code, I was like, what is that? You know? And
Yeah.
her, oh, really? You just touch it and then a restaurant menu pops up, right? So I'm
Yes.
like, oh, wow, how interesting. So I'm like, same logic, put a song there, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly. Exactly.
upload it on Google Drive and then create a link. And with the link, get a QR code. It's amazing, actually, if you look at it.
I mean, that's the beauty of technology is it's here to assist us in our creativity. It's not here to take over like people with AI and all things are scared. Use it as an assistant. Right? Use it as
Absolutely.
something. I was talking to a surgeon last week, and he's talking about the whole patient, the whole story from the time they become sick to the time they become well, of having somebody accountable for them all along the journey and not just treating them as
Yes.
a vehicle on a conveyor belt, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's that same thing. I kind of lost my train of thought where I was going there, but it is about the fluidity. And he was talking about he was taught by people that were doctors from Vietnam. And you look at what was available to them technically then as to what's available and what we can do
Now.
now. That
Hmm.
doesn't make him any less of a surgeon. It makes him a better surgeon because there's better equipment. And it's the same
Correct.
for the creative. You've just got more tools and things like that that allow you to bring your music in all ways, right?
Absolutely. Think about it. Now, not because my desire for the children's product was basically a board book where a child can see something and be amused by the
Yeah.
picture. And then it's like, so what do? We give a CD, USB, but then all these publishers say that they only do book, not no other product with a book, right? So I'm like, and that's how we got thinking. So how do you put it in the book?
Yes.
You can't put it in a little flap or something. No,
Right.
it's got to be in the book, embedded in the book.
Yes. Yes.
Interesting,
Because
absolutely.
if you're given a CD or even, a fob thing, which they can't play on the phone, um, it would be which song was it? And you've got to scan through to find the song to match the page. Well, this way
Hmm.
the song is on the page. The song is
Yes,
on the
and the
page.
songs are free.
Right.
You
Oh,
know,
that.
this book, this is People are only buying a book. Sarah,
Right.
I just realized that people are actually buying something that's like a children's poem book, and the songs are for free.
Yes. Yes. And that's the beauty of it. That's the bonus. The book itself, the
Absolutely.
stories, just short, sweet little stories. And we know with certain kids, I mean, my grandson who's 2.5, sometimes he can listen to a long story. Sometimes he's bored, he doesn't want to get there anymore. And just sometimes the short, sweet little ones is where his
Hmm.
attention span is.
Hmm.
Well, a short, sweet little one with a pretty graphic, and then play the music, mommy. You know, now it's giving a three-way story to them, right? A
Absolutely.
3D story in many
Yes, yes,
ways, right? So now it
yes.
becomes more exciting for them. And you don't have to go linearly with the book. They could go, I want this story, and go a few pages on until they find that.
They wouldn't even
Two
need,
hundred ain't a book.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. They don't need to read the text
no,
even to know what the song is. They see
right.
the illustration, they know this is that song just by
Yes,
the graphic. Isn't that
yes,
beautiful?
yes.
For kids who are not reading.
And then as they
They
learn
just,
the words, they learn to recognize the words because they've heard the song, right?
hmm.
So now they're kind of associating. So it's whatever development they're at, right? They're going to grasp, which you've got 4 to 12. I think 2 to 12 would be better. Seriously, just going by my grandson of how much he loves books and interactiveness, and he's beginning to pick out letters and understand things. I think, yeah, don't dismiss them at all.
Amazing, isn't it, that
Yes.
nowadays, so much sooner they
Yeah.
are into learning.
Yes.
They're not taught, they just learn.
Yes.
They're just more observant. I don't know if the human gene has evolved so much that we.
I think it's a lot the way we treat them. Like
Mhm.
his parents, my daughter and her husband, it's let's count to 10 before we leave the table, and let's sing our ABCs. What's the letter of the day? How do we recognize the letter? And we make it fun, right? And he woke up from a nap one day singing ABCs, it's just and of course praising them when they do because they feel rewarded and
Nice.
they want to do it again. And my little grandson is 7 months old, has Down syndrome. And so he's a happy, wonderful little boy, much smaller and petite. And he's going to be behind the curve of learning. So my daughter
Right.
has learned sign language. And so
Mm.
we're all beginning to learn certain aspects of sign language along the way. Actually, wouldn't that
Absolutely
be cool to
fluent.
go in the book, sign language with it? No, I'm adding something else to it.
Well, well, you know what? Um, may the more enthusiastic people come up with all the permutations that can emanate from this product, whether it
Yes.
is that and maybe movies or
Yeah.
videos or whatever.
Yeah.
Ah, I rest my case.
Yes, exactly. They can take your songs and do the sign language to it, right? You're quite happy.
Absolutely, absolutely,
But it
absolutely,
just
Sarah.
shows then, like from what you're giving them, what are the other possibilities,
It's
right?
it's amazing. So
Yeah,
much can be done.
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
limited. I'm tired with this project, but I'm also limited because it's also funding and resources and stuff, right?
Yes, of course.
So you never know. The possibilities are endless. If you can expand that kitty, you can do so much more.
Exactly. And then, inspiration begets invitation. And when somebody is inspired by someone, it invites them
Yes,
to look at other
absolutely.
possibilities or other ways of doing it. And, anybody kind of copying or emulating you is a compliment because they see it
Totally.
inspired them so much. And it's
I
like,
see
wow,
many
this is such a
children
cool
getting into
idea. Yeah.
yeah, I see many children starting to compose songs after
Yes.
they see this book because
Yeah.
it's going to just expedite their capability of composing. I'm telling you this because
Yeah.
they're just going to, the bar is going to be raised for the children so much that they will feel like writing songs.
Yes. But I mean, you just look at them, right? Even on his first birthday, my daughter's boyfriend, he is one of these people that goes around singing songs at different groups of children, play
Mm.
groups and daycares and things like that. And he bought his guitar and he's busy playing. And we've got this footage of little Roro, wearing cute little pants I bought him. And he's just, little bum is going up and down to the music. And every time he hears the song, I could just see a little move going like that. And music's really,
Absolutely.
really important to me. And so, for music, I'm introducing him to different types of music. And I
Yes.
played something from the group Bread the other day.
Oh,
God bless the
wow.
child, which is a beautiful song, right?
Okay, my favorite
God
one of
bless
theirs
the
is
child
If.
that has his
Okay.
own, right? Oh,
Oh,
I love them.
nice.
Sorry to throw
Nice.
my head off here. And it, he goes, I don't know that song. And I said, take a listen to it. And then afterwards, a lot of 70s songs came on, things that grandma grew up with. And then the little shoulders are going, I like this, grandma. I like this, And it's like, music is a way to open up their heart, open up their
Yes.
curiosity. When they actually physically move to the music, that grooving to the music means that they're tapping into the fluidity of the energy, right? And the
Yes.
more they get into that energy and the more they feel the music and listen to the words, the more engaged they are. And we want our children to always be engaged in life. That's the
And it's a
important thing.
natural, that's a natural response. No one's taught them to groove.
Yes, no,
Um, they just have a natural
yeah,
way of responding to the beat
yes,
and to the
exactly.
tune, isn't it? Isn't it beautiful?
It's beautiful. And then, there's a beaten rhythm to life, which somewhere along the line kind of got beaten out of us. Sit
Yeah, yeah,
still,
yeah.
you know? And if we lose that rhythm to life, this is where I think we disconnect from ourselves, from each other. We start
Mhm.
looking at the outside life to please us, which never does because it's so demanding. Uh, and we need to get back into the rhythm of life. And I think, as I
Yeah,
said
yeah.
before, the books and your book and the music and the fact that they actually have to put their phone up against the QR code is engagement, right? I mean, obviously some kids can do it on their own, but when they're little, not. Is that engagement of what's the words about? What's the song about? And inviting the parents or the grandparents or whoever's looking after the kids to join in and reigniting something inside of them. That I think is absolutely beautiful. We need more people to get back to the groove of life.
I'm telling you. And it's a way for everyone to take something from it, all of
Yes,
us,
yes,
isn't it? It's the little baby can if the baby knew that there was something for the baby because there is.
yes.
Um, there's a song that I had two grandchildren born through these 1,000 days.
Mhm.
So, well, both of those days that they were born is a song about um, the song of the newborn is the name of the song. And what the newborn feels about
Mm,
seeing all those people that they only heard until then. I mean, those kind of
right.
things, you know? It's
Yes.
it's it's just making the whole thing, this is a real person. The person existed.
Yes.
And this person is voicing his or her feeling the
Mm,
day he or she is born and what that person feels like coming into this family.
mm,
It's not just what we have all felt having this baby, it's all what the
right.
baby feels coming into
Yes.
into our fold, right?
Yes. I was
And
quite
all of this.
comfortable and warm in there. Why the hell did you bring me out? Yeah. Yeah.
No, no,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I can't tell you how grateful I am for
Mm,
if it was a mission, if it was a calling to do this, because I've been tremendously blessed by doing it,
mm,
and
mm,
I have no doubt. See, I've written thousands of gospel songs, right, and just other songs. But if I know that there is one project or one kind of song that I've written that is definitely going to impact the listeners, it is the children's songs.
yeah.
I don't know. It's more than the gospel songs. I feel that the children's songs is going to impact people, affect people, not just kids. And I
Yeah.
don't know why I feel this. This is my feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it transcends race, language, culture,
Exactly.
everything, right? Where gospel, people are going to perceive it from their God. He's going to speak from their God. And it's still beautiful because what it does is as the kids listen to this, that's something they can transfer to later and have a better
Yes.
understanding for it. But I think with the kids' music, it's something for everyone because you can't help when you see your kids singing along or dancing or wanting that song again, of it not having some sort of impact on you. You can't
Hmm.
help it. And so, gospel song is going to be interpreted the way we feel, how we connect with it. It almost becomes
Correct.
personal, right?
Correct.
But with a kid's song, it's more party time. It's more, let's have fun. Or what are those words saying? What do they mean?
Hmm.
Inquiring. And I think it's just on a different level, but kind of one can lead to the other.
Oh, this is what I'm going through. This is emotion I'm going through that I just don't understand. Like jealousy. I think there's a song about it. You know, jealousy. Children feel jealous. We feel jealous,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So it processing that emotion, processing that
yes,
feeling. What is it all about?
yes,
What is it? What does it ultimately mean? And it's nice for a child to have that opportunity to say, "I'm feeling jealous."
yeah,
I'm feeling something, right? Rather than, "Oh, that's a dirty feeling."
yes, yes. Yes, yeah, and that's the thing is, this is something I'm always saying is that any emotion that we have is an indication of how we're feeling, right?
Hmm.
Acknowledge how you're feeling. Spend that emotion. Don't become emotional about it. If we suppress an emotion and say it's wrong, where does that emotion go? It goes in, becomes confused. It gets bigger than it
Correct.
should be, and you don't even remember what the root cause was. So we
Yes,
need
and
to
when you're
show
much
children they can
older,
have an outlet for that emotion. What they do with
yes,
my grandson is when he gets frustrated, we say, "Okay, now breathe, breathe. Let's take a few deep breaths. Are we feeling better now? What is it you want?" And from that breathe place, he can then articulate it instead of from the frustration place.
right.
And maybe that's something we need to do. Take a breath before you react,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes, indeed. Yeah,
What's
beautiful.
causing that jealousy? What's causing that moment? Because that's how we can learn from our children as well as teach our children. Take a moment. Okay, what really is the problem? Frustrated
Hmm.
because it's not working? Well, let's take a different try again, right? But calm down.
I'm
Because
just
we're
remembering, Sarah. Yeah,
go
sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead.
No, no, yeah, I was just remembering. There were three Christmas seasons through the course of this project. So
Did you
you
get
can't
three Christmas
imagine.
songs in there?
Three. You can't imagine how many, because leading up to Christmas, there were
Yes.
Christmas songs. I'm telling you, easily 25 Christmas songs out of the thousand, easily.
Great. Great.
And not
Good.
all Merry Christmas. It's all Christmas. What is Christmas?
Mm,
It's that all the holidays. It's that it's a different spirit we all feel. That
mm.
beautiful something. What is that? That giving, the sharing, the loving, the families coming together, reunions. It's and you can look at something like Christmas in so many ways.
Yes.
We are having a great time here, and then there's a song about I look outside and there's someone alone at
Yeah.
Christmas. So, what is Christmas for them? And why? How can I make their Christmas better? You know what I mean? So,
Yes.
I, I, I couldn't believe that something that's just a normal, season of the year, Christmas songs, when you put in that spot where I was to reinvent, to discover all about Christmas, for example, it's just the many ways of looking at it. So
Yes.
many dimensions: the
Yes.
weather, the spirit,
Hmm.
family,
Yes.
friends, all the festivities, this
Yes.
and that, the tree. How many songs about the tree?
Yes. Yes. Exactly. And I think, it doesn't really matter, what religion you are, because whatever religion you are, like Hanukkah or Christmas or anything else, you're going to
Correct.
celebrate that religious thing. But what Christmas has
Absolutely.
become, other than, an economy, but what it really represents is togetherness,
Correct.
right? Coming together,
Yes.
sharing in
Yes.
joy, having laughter,
Yes.
breaking
Yes.
bread. Um,
Yes.
I This is going to be a Christmas show going up there. In fact, actually, can you send over one of the Christmas songs? I want to add it to the pile. I think that would be
Certainly,
great.
I will. Certainly, with pleasure.
Um,
Yes.
and like I'm always saying that, books are fantastic to give for Christmas. I know yours is not ready yet, but there's always next Christmas and there's
Indeed.
spring and there's everything else as well. Um, but it's about, I think, freely and willingly sharing joy. And I don't know
Yes.
why we kind of let joy go through the year, and like we can only be joyous at Christmas. I think it's
Exactly.
doesn't this feel good to be joyous? Why can't you take this throughout the year?
Through the year. There's a song about that.
Oh, good.
Of course, there's a song about that. It's not. It's not just. This. It's not just a whole lot of feelings and emotions and celebrations that we should restrict to that season. It's something that we
Right.
should continue
Yes.
through the year. It's a
Yes.
celebration of life, of humanity, of all that we are.
Right. A reminder of life and humanity and why we need to hold
Absolutely.
on to it and why we
Hmm.
need to express it. And I'm so glad you did one on the lonely because I've got numerous shows I've done on only the lonely and the forgotten next door. Even if you can't invite them around for Christmas Day, drop a meal off, drop a
Exactly.
present off, kind of
Yes.
invite them for tea or something. All they
Yes.
want to know is somebody sees them and hears them and they're not
Yes.
alone when everybody's forgotten them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then for all you know, children, when they see people in those situations, I think their natural response would be, why are they that way and why are we this way?
Yeah.
How, how can we how can we be better? I think that's what
Yes.
children would normally think. And then parents, what we could tend to do is just rush away from that ugly situation,
Yeah.
save them away from that
Yes.
ugly situation,
Yeah. La la
rather than
la la
use
la la la. Right? Yeah.
rather
Mm-mm.
than use allow the child to process that and grow into something magnanimous through that
Yeah.
experience, right?
What would you like to do for this person? As an
Exactly.
adult, let's ask the child. You
Yeah.
want to give a Christmas card or give a Christmas present, or if it's not Christmas, any other time in the year, you're seeing someone.
Mhm.
Do you want to knock on the door and say hello? Obviously, not on your own, right? You've
Absolutely.
seen
Got to
too
be
many of
careful of
those
that.
movies, but
Yes, yes.
but let's
Sorry.
encourage our children to be
Yes.
engaged, to see other people less fortunate,
Hmm.
right? To see people, how many there was a thing done, expose thing that somebody filmed someone, and a guy was there with a notice saying, "Need money to buy drugs and alcohol," right? And people were giving him money. Then he turned it around and said, "Need money for food and shelter," and no one
No one
gave
gave
him money.
anything.
What does that say
Absolutely.
about our society? What does it
Yeah.
say? It says that we need to have a recheck. And perhaps if we
Yeah.
see people through the eyes of our children, we actually might become more compassionate.
Absolutely. I believe so.
There's a lot our
We,
kids can teach them, right?
yeah. We
And
take
teach
that
us others.
spark away from them, just as sometime it happened to us. And getting into the child's world will bring that spark back into our lives in some sense.
Yeah.
We need not to be childish, we
Mm.
need to be childlike,
Yes. Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
Matured, but we need to appreciate the beauty of innocence.
The
Just like we want
simplicity
to,
of it.
absolutely, just
Yes.
like we want to preserve the planet,
Mm.
make it, preserve what's natural about it, and all those things, we've got to do to our lives as well.
I had a wonderful weekend a couple of weekends ago with the whole family
Right.
together, and we were
Lovely.
celebrating birthdays missed, my son becoming engaged, my daughter's wedding anniversary, and we all came
Congratulations.
together. Yeah,
Nice.
I know, another wedding coming up, great. And we were all
Mm.
together, which was wonderful. And it just seems to happen wherever we go to this place, all of the other spouses go to bed, and I'm just left with my children. And we got
Hmm.
into a deep conversation where my son is pointing out all the vermin in the world and how they're running the world. They're running the economics,
Yeah.
and they're deceitful and they're greedy and they're opulent, and they don't care how much damage they cause anyone as long as their wallet is fat. And I said that is absolutely fact. But we were all saying, but we all need to find a stand that we stand for, and that we need
Yes.
to be the love, be the solution. And at first he kind of didn't get it. He was kind of, and I said, pointed at, he has a restaurant. I said, you have a restaurant in the community that people love to go to. They leave with a
Hmm.
smile on the stomach and a smile on the face. You have
Hmm.
staff that love working there, that have come from
Nice.
bigger restaurants, but they love there because they're seen and they're heard. And you're well known
Mm.
in the community. You do all the catering for it, everything. You're already taking a stand. You're already making a difference. And that if
Yeah.
each one of us can step up into something we love to do and it benefits other people, and
Hmm.
we become the light that shines bright for others on their darkness, we are already becoming that solution. what we
Yes.
feed will grow. If we can
Yes.
teach our children, your light will be a beacon for someone else. Never let it
Absolutely.
dim, right?
Hmm.
Those people will, the opulent, the greedy people will eventually go by the wayside as us people step up into this bright light and this beautiful, loving energy of
Yes,
love,
indeed.
of love.
Yes. And
So let's teach
compassion,
our
kindness.
children it's okay to love. It's okay to
Absolutely.
love. It's okay to be love. It's okay to love others. It's also okay to take a stand against something and say, no,
Oh,
you will
there are
not
there are
harm
two,
others.
three songs saying "Say No."
Ah, good one. That, in fact, that one actually should be for mothers. Just say no.
Say
Say no
no.
to another thousand songs.
I've decided that anyways. Oh, I'm not going to. I am not going to.
So how much longer for the are you going to wait for all thousand to be done, or and when the
No, no.
200 is, that will come out, and then the next
Actually,
200?
I'm just waiting for the illustrations. The illustrator will be sending me all thousand illustrations. I'm ready with all the other material for volume one, which is 200 songs. Just the illustrations need to be the QR code's also ready for the
Right.
first 200. So as soon as I get the illustrations, I'll send it to the publishers, and I think it takes them at least a month plus, to more than a month actually, to get it all together, because it requires so many things coming together.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Designing the book
Uh-huh.
layout and all of that, and it's got to be pretty, isn't it? Because it has to. I think as much as we adults think that we have standards to be pleased, oh gosh, kids have big standards.
Yeah. Yes.
They
Yes.
will look at a product and say, I don't want to see that again.
Right. So yes, it's got to have kind of the bright colors. It's got to have something that's
Hmm.
invitational, but
Yes.
isn't a fad. You know,
Hmm.
like my grandson's into Peppa Pig right now, but one day that Peppa Pig won't be anymore. So it's got to be something that is
Correct.
inviting enough
Across
but generic enough.
generations.
Yes, across. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
So, even to the next generation, well, technologically, probably something more superior than the QR code may
yes,
come, looking at the rate at which we are evolving technologically. But otherwise, the graphics and lyrics, I think, will stay for all time.
yeah,
Like Mozart's Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star
yeah,
that he
exactly.
composed when he was so young
Yeah,
is one of the most. So these songs, Sarah, they're songs, right? Some of them are rhymes,
hmm,
but that's not many. Most of them are
right.
songs.
Yeah.
A few of them are like your Twinkle Twinkle Little Star kind of song. In fact, there was one about a lone star. There's about star. There are so many songs about sorry, about thank you.
Excellent. I'm happy to hear it. How did you take the thousand, and what process did you go through to break them up into, which ones go in which book? The 200, the
Oh,
200,
in the
200.
order that they were written.
Oh, really?
In fact, it's for the children to understand that these songs were written in the course of 1,000 days, one every
Ah.
day. It's so people will be more forgiving of me also, because if you look at it, it's not it's ordered in any other way but the order in which they were written. So each song will have a number, which is literally a 1 out of 1,000 kind of song. So one,
Right.
two, three. It's in that sequence. The songs have numbers which show the number of the 1,000 that day was and that song.
That also shows the children commitment. She's done a
Mm,
thousand songs. We've got the first book
yes,
at 200.
correct,
And then when
correct,
the next book comes out, we will get that one all the way up to the thousand. She did this
correct,
every day for 1,000 days. And as
correct.
they get to that age of grasping, you did this every day, then they will suddenly
Exactly.
actually understand what commitment can be, but also, yes, difficult. Yes, you wanted this project to be over because it's consumed your life now for the last 5 or 6 years. But at the same time, the reward of
Yes.
just an idea. What if I sing some children's songs into what it has become and the
Yes,
impact it's going to have? I mean, can you imagine
absolutely.
school teachers with this?
I
With
have
kindergarten teachers?
nursery teachers or owners
Yep.
saying, can't wait to get that,
Exactly.
because it's a whole bunch of new songs,
Yes.
so many songs, and children they also get bored, right? They want variety, they
Yeah.
want something new. So we have all these new things to keep introducing to them. Incidentally, what I'm giving the publishers is the song along with the date the song was written,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
So it's more like a memoir
All right.
of songs through 1,000 days. So when you look at it, it's not just 1,000 children's songs.
Mhm.
No, there is a story behind it.
Right.
There's a
A
with
journey.
a journey
Mm.
with no desire for any credit in any sense. But I think the artist that did it, the decision, the perseverance, the commitment, these things we need to respect when we are capable of doing this. Whether,
Exactly.
however, we've got to give ourselves a good pat on the back because we know how easy
Double
it is to
pat,
break
honey.
it.
Double pat.
It's so
Good on
easy,
you.
so
Honestly.
easy to stop, so easy to
Yes.
give it up.
Yes.
Give up. It's hard to get in a studio and produce them, even if they were written randomly. But the whole point of writing one every day, whether you feel like it or not, that's the reason why I wrote the book about the journey and the lessons through those 1,000 days. And I never went about marketing it or doing any PR.
Right.
Why? Because I knew right then I was going to do this
Yes.
project.
Yes.
If this reached people, they would want to know more about who does something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe read the other book. It's not something I want to promote. If
Right.
anyone's interested to know about that, the journey and the lessons, they will get that. I
Yes.
don't want to promote it. It's not that.
That's
Please
what
buy my
I'm
book.
here
No.
for to do, is to promote it. And I want you to go back, listen to the other two shows and look at the book and look at everything else that we
Uh,
talk about. Because I
uh,
kind of feel in many ways I've been on this journey with you, because we go back
mhm.
a few
We've
years,
talked
and
about it.
it's and we've talked so intensely about this journey that you've been on of the, the 1,000 songs and the children's songs. And but what, came out of it for you? I mean, during this time you lost your mum and your dad, right? Then
Yes.
you had to take care. Your dad died. You had to go back to India and take care of your mom. You are a mother. You became a grandmother. You work,
Yes.
right? This isn't
Yes.
like,
Yes.
oh, I'm lounging around today. I'm going to come up with a song. It's like I've got to fit this in my daily life. And remember, one of
Absolutely.
the songs was as an airport. I'm sure there's been more
Yes.
than one,
Yes,
right?
the
So,
delayed flight, and so I couldn't not write the songs for the day.
right.
Yes, I went to the airport manager's room and I asked permission to sit there and write the song, and he was so gracious he allowed me. I told you about this, Sarah. I got stuck in a lift.
Yeah.
I started writing in the lift. I got influenza A when I visited my daughter in the US, and she took me to the hospital and say this was just before day 400, and she said, "Now you will stop. Whatever this great thing you're doing, now
Mm.
you will stop." And I said, "You know what? I will ask if I get admitted, I'll ask the doctor permission for 1 or 2 hours when I will finish the songs, even if I'm in the hospital." I just, but that's the even but now when I look at it, I'm like, why did it matter so much? It's so easy to stop.
Yes.
What are you trying to prove?
Hmm.
I don't even know this force that keeps us driven to fulfill a commitment we make to ourselves. Who cares? If
We
you don't do
care.
it, who cares?
We
Exactly,
care.
exactly,
I,
exactly.
I've,
I know.
I've been doing this over 11 and a half years now, and it's
Wow.
coming up to 10 and a half years with my own network. And I'll be honest, like you, I still don't make money out of it. It still doesn't, I'm supporting it. It's not supporting me. And people keep saying, why do you keep doing it? And I said, but
Mm,
it's a commitment that my heart and soul made to it, right? To
yes.
bring people like you out
Thank you. I
into the
appreciate
open
it.
so
Really
people
appreciate it, Sarah.
see you, hear you, feel you, and inspired to ignite something in themselves or to celebrate you, because this is what it's about. There's always somebody out there that is going to be so inspiring that it's going to be igniting something within you, that, or even just makes you kind of question or carves a conversation. That's what it's about. So just as you were compelled to do that, and I haven't done a
Hmm.
show every day. There's 3,000 something shows up there, but certainly not every
Wow.
day. But when you're compelled to do something because this is your calling, this is your
Yes.
why, this is what you have to do. Now, the fact you've done the 1,000 adult ones, you've done the 1,000 children, now the book. Who knows what your next project will be? You need a good long rest, right? Time to just, regroup with yourself. But I bet something else will come out of you as well, because you are a person that is compelled to share something that is meaningful, that people can take and use how they want to use it, and in any which way that's going to enlighten or inspire themselves. So, there's
There
going to
is
be
a
more
key
from you.
takeaway, Sarah. Sarah, there is, thank you for that, but it frightens me, believe me. There's a key takeaway, though, that, this project has actually taught me and perhaps will help others think. We never know what our hidden talents are. Children's songs and me, if you asked me 3 or 4 years ago,
Yeah,
seriously, I mean more than that. I saw in 2017. But so if you actually listen to this project, you think I wrote children's songs my whole life.
exactly.
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 So
It was
or
something
sang
waiting
that
to
for that
come
matter.
out. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
So it probably is just it helps us think, gosh, it's something I've got to just give a hand, give it just try. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe try a few things, dabble with them, and then find what's what I'm maybe good at, right?
maybe.
And then
No
and
maybe
I,
about it, darling. You are good at. There is no maybe about it at
give
all.
it a good hand or whatever. I don't know. But thank you. I really appreciate it, Sarah. Thank you. I mean, you've been so gracious having me here 3 times. I really
Oh, you're
appreciate it.
welcome back anytime, always. I mean, you inspire me. I mean, you can't do this kind of work without it rubbing off, and that you've always inspired me with just your tenacity. But it's not just that. There's so many people that are creative and they get the dry spell. So they get writer's block, or the artists, can't do this or that. But for your commitment to your art consistently through whatever
Yes.
weather storm you've had to go through, but you've produced it, you didn't break the
Yes.
chain, is
Yes.
exemplary. And it does, whether
Thank you.
people take on 1,000 days of anything or take anything on, you know, can you commit to 30 days, folks? Right? And then that 30
Mm,
days, ooh, can you go a bit longer? Ooh, can you go a bit longer? But I always say you never know what you can do until you try doing it.
correct.
And when you try it and you go, no, no, not my forte, or, maybe if I did it this way, it might be easier. Or that you try something and God, how come I didn't know I could do this?
Exactly. Or what we're capable of doing and feeling. My
Yes,
children may never be into this kind of stuff. My grandchildren may. We all have our own
yeah,
fortes, isn't it, Sarah?
yes,
We like look at what you're doing, right? So I think we come into our own when it's
yes,
time if we will just explore, or when we suddenly find ourselves in a predicament or whatever situation, and we're like, what is the way out of this? Like I was wondering, and then can you imagine something like is the way out of something else? So
yeah.
you never know,
You never
but you've got to.
know. Be
Yes, just
wondrous, be exploratory, right? Don't hold
correct,
yourself
correct.
back. None of the what will people think? I'm sure you've had plenty of judgment from other people
Oh
saying,
my
are
goodness,
you
yeah.
being ridiculous? You should stop now. Da, da, da.
What
Is
is, the
anybody
biggest thing you
listening?
hear is, what are you trying to prove? The
Right.
thing I heard the most through
Yes.
that time, and even the pursuit thereafter is like, what are you trying to prove? And I'm like, please ask that again because I don't know.
But why is it that you have to prove anything? You're doing it because you're
Exactly.
compelled to do. Why is that not enough? You're doing it because
Exactly.
you can, right? You're doing it because
Exactly.
you made the commitment to do it. Right?
Yes.
That isn't that enough? And if it isn't enough for them, well, then that's their issue, not yours.
And for example, if no one's listening to your stuff, why are you still doing it?
Yeah.
You get asked that, don't
Yes.
you? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
As an artist, we all get asked
Yeah,
this. If
yes. Oh,
we don't
yeah.
have enough listeners, viewers,
Yep.
so on and so, I'm like, I'm just honoring the talent I've been given. I'm
Yes.
giving what I've been freely given. I'm giving it
Exactly.
out. If I don't do anything with it, it's a huge discredit to myself.
Exactly. You're not honoring the gift that you were given, or the gift
Absolutely,
of who
yeah.
you are. Many
Yes.
people are given a gift, but they haven't become the gift.
Mm, mm.
You
Oh,
are the gift, so therefore you know how to use the gift. There's a difference there, right?
mm, mm.
And and who cares, if there's a million people listening or one person listening, if that one person gets something out of it,
Yes,
People say,
it's
how
worth
many
it.
people listen to your shows? I go, all those that are ready to hear. It's got to be when somebody's ready to hear the message, when somebody is inspired that this is the show. I go into a bookstore, which book wants me to read it? And I'll go and there'll be a book that will kind of jump out, right? And if it's the same thing
Wow.
with a podcast, is you go in and like the title hits you. Oh, there's something about that. Or you read it a little bit. I need to listen to this. And you don't know why, but of course your psyche does. So it's the same thing with music. Why are we drawn to certain songs at certain times? Why are they speaking to us? What have they ignited in us? Where's that shift that's come from it? Why do I
Mm,
feel this way? It's all there
exactly.
for a reason. You've put out your artistry, right?
Hmm.
And of course, all your adult ones as well. You've got them all that people can find them and listen to them still, right?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, my website.
Right.
It's
So
it's all
people
there.
can go
Yeah.
and listen to all of those. So you're listening to the kids' songs and you go, I want something for me. There is something
Yes.
there. 1,000 songs. There is a song there for you. But
And
you've
this
got
was
to just take
after
the
so many
time to let it
albums.
go
Some
for
of
it.
them are there. Yes, yes, indeed. I believe me. I've only done normal songs before, and much before that, gospel songs.
Hmm.
So, can you imagine? This year, I actually published. Was it 9 or 10 songs, normal songs, and after that, I did this children's project. I have song overdose,
Yeah.
song song production overdose this year.
It's the production side of it, not the song side of it, right? So, the
Exactly,
production side of
exactly.
it is always so much more than,
It's a
the
lot more.
artistry.
No, it's a
Um,
lot
the
more.
artistry has come out, but now it's all that production side of it that can be more exasperating. And I want you to take, once the books are out, of course, when each book comes out, more promotion, more promotion, more promotion. I'll be promoting like crazy for you. But then I
Right,
want you to
okay.
just take your own creative hiatus,
Yes,
right?
please.
And
Yeah.
through that hiatus, something will be revealed of what you're meant to do. And if it comes up with 1,000, just shut it right back down.
Forget 1,000. I swore to myself that I wouldn't. So let's see. I'm really happy. I'm feeling at rest. It's
Yes,
just been so difficult. I can't even start telling you
yeah,
how much went into it.
yes.
Hmm.
Yes, but look at how much is going to come out of it. I remember interviewing a veteran on his book when it first came out, and then he came back again, and he said, I had no idea of the impact or who it would impact, that this book and the
Wow.
people that have reached out to him, not the people he expected at all, but the
Wow.
impact that it had had. And that's the beauty of some putting a creative out there. When people come back to you and go, this did this for me, or this did that for my child, or this
Absolutely.
did that. That is where the reward is when you know that your hard-earned
Totally.
work,
Yes.
is that it's having an impact, because that's the reason why we do it,
Yes.
have an impact,
Yes. It's
right?
the impact indeed.
Yeah.
That's the main objective.
And so we know as each one comes out. So are we looking at February for the book, for the first one?
Certainly before that. Certainly before February.
Good.
It's just that we just need one of those nice, Christmas was a nice time, right? Who
Yes.
buys anything at New Year's?
I know, I know. The anthology book was meant to be out for Christmas and it didn't happen because herding authors is like herding cats. So, it's the production side of it that took
Yes,
longer, right? So we're coming out mid-February. Why does Valentine's Day have to be just for lovers? So this
I
is
thought of
a
I
love
thought
book
of
for the children,
Valentine's.
right? So you're giving
I
a
I I
gift
thought
of
I
love to
thought
the
of
children. Yeah,
Valentine's.
do
Yes,
it,
this is
baby.
going to this is
Yes.
definitely going to be ready before that. But I thought of Valentine's. I
Yeah.
have to tell you, I thought about it, and I thought,
Yes.
would it be inappropriate to have the children's book
No,
out for
no, because
Valentine's?
it's your love letter to the children. And as this one is a love of children awareness book, why can't it come out on the love
I fully
month,
agree.
right?
Fully agree.
So,
Yeah, and it's the first two grandkids were born in the course of this, and I can't
mhm,
tell you how much they inspired so many of the
yeah,
songs. Like my little my little big brother. That kind, just a whole when
yeah,
mommy was feeding baby something. There's a song about it. They have inspired the themes
Yeah.
from many of these songs, right?
Yes.
So it is also my love to my grandchildren and the children of the world.
Yeah.
That's the book. The book is dedicated
Yes,
for
exactly.
them. Yes, to them.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, February baby.
Okay,
February,
it is. It
definitely.
is.
I'll do a huge
Thank you.
campaign for it for get it out there because
You're always one. You these conversations with you, Sarah. I know this is like an interview, but these conversations with you have always that ding moment where something happens. Okay, I got it. Like the QR code now is release date. Thank you for that.
Not my pleasure anytime. Anything, who knows again what one's going to say and how it's going to
Exactly.
click. And that's the point that, our children are fearless, right? And we're there to teach them how to recognize what that fear is and the sense of danger. If you do this, it's
Yes,
dangerous. But we
exactly.
mustn't let them lose the fearlessness of wanting to try something. They've just got to
Absolutely.
recognize inside of them what it doesn't feel right and what does feel right. That's the
Hmm.
only boundary why can't we learn a little fearlessness from them as well?
Yes, indeed. Yes, we really need to imbibe a lot of what
Yeah,
it was to be
a
that
child.
age,
I
a
know,
child.
I
Yes,
know.
it's got to come back, and we will relish and enjoy and celebrate what's left of our adult life so
Yeah,
much more, even with our families, if we just appreciate more what it felt like to be like children.
yes. I've just written my book, which is coming out
Ah,
next week or something. Um,
awesome.
and the yearbook is anyway. And it's like rather like you, it's like, okay, the book is out there now. Go and do what you need to do. And like, and it's like, should I put that in the book? Shouldn't I put that in the book? I didn't put much there in the book. And it's like, you can second guess, second guess, second guess. And at some point, you have to let it go. You have to just let it be. Right. And it will be
Yes.
what it will be to whoever, if anybody wants to read it.
Yeah.
And I think that is, where does that fear come from of how people are going to react to it is
How will
because
it be
there's
received? You
how
see
will it
this
be received?
disclosure
Yeah.
I'm making about some of the songs being gospel
Yes.
and why it's like I'm apologizing even before the book is
Why?
published
Absolutely
for
not.
being
No,
for
no, no.
being me with no ill
Exactly.
intent, with no ill
Balderdash,
intent.
darling. Balderdash. Absolutely. If people don't like those songs, there's another 196 or 190 something songs in
Exactly,
each book,
exactly. You
right?
can
You're not going to like every
absolutely.
song. That's,
Yay, yeah, there's yay.
very unusual if you do.
Absolutely.
There are going to be
Yeah,
songs that
yeah.
resonate and songs you're not so into, but get over yourselves, folks. She's shared her heart and soul, passion and commitment to your children. Uh, if you've got any little mindedness, sorry, don't buy the book. you know, this is
Uh,
for people who want to celebrate because you've done it in celebration, right?
yes,
You've done it in
yes.
celebration of the children. You've done it as a commitment to the children. This is your gift to the children, which in turn becomes
Absolutely.
a gift to the parents, the grandparents, the siblings, and society as a whole. The trickle down effect, or I prefer the ripple effect.
It is
Right,
the
where
ripple
a
effect,
child
yeah.
goes to daycare, a child goes to school singing a song. Where did you get that from? I've got to get that book in the classroom, right? So
Hmm.
now, and what a fabulous tool for the teacher, for the play school, caregivers to have a book. Which song do you want to listen to now? And then go through the book, right? What a fantastic gift to them because it becomes a
Absolutely.
wonderful tool for for to reach their children. Now, what does this song mean? Let's have a talk about it, right? The expansion of it and everything else. So,
I have to say this, Sarah. You see, I was debating and asking people because when I composed them and when I sang them on the demos when they were composed, I sang it with a child voice
mhm,
because I learned somehow from the start of that project to sing with a child's voice. I don't even know why I did it, right?
uh-huh,
But when I was going to studio produce them, I asked people, should I sing it with my own voice, regular voice, or child voice? And most of them were like, regular voice, your own voice, sing it with the adult voice. And I'm so grateful I did
mm,
because it doesn't sound mimicked.
right,
It doesn't sound like an adult trying to act
yeah.
funny and happy. It sounds like an older child.
Yeah. But you look at, I mean, I went to my granddaughter's concert this weekend, and she was
Oh,
playing with a guy that's been in the business, a children's singer and a performer, and he's been in the business for 30 years, and they were the choir backing him up. And it was
oh,
really cute to see them. Now, in the front row, they had there was one kid, Oriental kid, who didn't sing a word, didn't do anything, just
right,
like
right,
scared shitless, really, quite honestly. There
right,
was another
right.
kid singing away like crazy until she lost her ribbons and then she lost her mojo. And then you've got some other kids that, full performance and every single thing that they were doing. But they were so immersed in. And he pulled a thing on them. Do you know this song? They go, no. And he said, repeat after me. And they repeated
Yes.
everything. Even the things that they weren't meant to repeat, they repeated. And so it
Wow.
became, and all of them did it, and it was not planned at all, and it was hilarious because they were repeating, okay now, and they go, okay now, and just, and there's that spirit of the children, and that's the beauty
Yes.
of it. All of it, our cheeks were hurting, with tears running down our face with the joy of
Wow.
it, and our
Wow.
kids were having
I
so much fun.
I was contemplating this, Sarah, about doing children's concerts.
Mm,
Um, not to promote,
right.
but just to have fun.
Yes. Well,
Just to really
maybe
have fun.
summer of 2024, the first 200 songs is now the concert time, or special appearance, right? That people can book you in to
Absolutely.
come in and do the songs
Oh,
with the children. You
seriously.
see, there we go. There's your next project.
Indeed, I thought about this, and I'm like, let if there the studio produced karaoke's are in the book. So
Right.
any child wants to sing it, record it, send it back to me, and all this is for marketing, promotion, or just for the joy of it.
Yes.
But then I really thought we could have so much fun if we could actually have an hour children's concert, right? Just all
Yes.
some of these
Yes.
songs, like some really cool stuff, and for the parents, not just
Yes.
children.
And you being there, the conductor, and singing along with them. I mean, what a kick they would get out of
It would be
singing
good fun.
with the person that created it. Right.
I'm
So,
sure, but this is a huge extended idea because I'm now back to work, so I'm not going to be able to do anything of that sort now. I'm naturally confined, restricted
for now, for
but for now.
now.
Going
Who knows
naughty.
what's to come, right?
But
When
anyway,
the
I just had to
books
put that
take
over
off
there.
and people are
It was one of my
demanding
thoughts.
you, maybe your regular job has to take a backseat.
It was one of my thoughts, and I was this is where you don't know where life is
Yeah,
taking you.
yeah,
Right? You think, oh, you've taken up a work after a break, did all this music, and then you're back to work, right? But you never know what the next thing is. You really
no,
don't. I mean, I don't. I really don't.
right. It's getting these books out and then just the extension of where they take you. You're going to be extremely surprised of
Right.
the impact that these books have. And the
Wow.
music in them, but the storytelling, the books themselves, of how much it's going to liberate teachers, parents, this and that, how much it's going to uplift children and spark their own imagination, but what the demands are going to be on you because of it down the road.
Hmm.
That's my prediction.
Oh,
You're going
wow.
to be in demand.
Oh my goodness. That's very kind of you, but fingers crossed. When the publisher asked me, so what is the audience? I said 4 to 12, but actually speaking, it doesn't stop with 12. It's for
Yeah.
everyone.
And it's also
And,
earlier, two, yeah,
so I
easily.
can't say so. Thank you for that, by the way. I just take that as a prophecy, maybe. Because I thought about it after producing all these songs, like, shouldn't there be a concert for children? Now you mentioned
Yes,
it. You mentioned
yes.
it. And then I was like, let me tell Sarah, I thought about this. I was like, and then I think, a concert for children? Are you even listening to yourself?
Yeah. No, you see what I mean? You can't stop the creative mind, right? But the
Yeah,
beauty of it is you're not creating more songs. What you're doing is taking those songs and creating a new life out of it,
absolutely.
right? So these songs are already the foundation of the next level of Swapna. The next level of Swapna are these concerts of getting out there and doing these concerts with children. And just imagine, oh, we have Swapna coming. She wrote this, she did the book, she's coming to sing with us. And can you imagine?
And think about those that will sing it far better than I did. I can't wait
Yes.
because they have the voice, the kids, you know. So
Yeah.
can you imagine them
Yeah.
singing? Me being floored by, wow, this actually sounds so good.
Yes.
When the actual children sing it, I took my grandchildren to to the backyard last when they visited last month. I don't think they knew that I could sing. So I told them about the project and I told them that let me sing for you one of those songs. I posted about it on Facebook recently. And then I sang the best moment of my life, a couple of lines, and they looked at each other like, she can sing. She can sing. And my granddaughter, she apparently is an instant songwriter.
Ah,
See, because we're adults and we do
yeah.
this, we think, oh, I'm a composer.
Mhm.
And we see a grandchild, for example, just randomly come up with
Yes.
lyrics and songs and just sing. And we think, wow, that's talent. But how come we can't appreciate that in ourselves?
I don't know. Because somewhere along the line, we've been told, societal's imposition on us has been told us that unless we fit into this mold or this mold or this mold, we're not worthy. And this is something that the entire society needs to go through, each one of us individually. My worthiness is not based on your opinion of me. My worthiness is based on how I feel about myself and what my contribution is to the existence of the world. We're all gifted. My
Yes.
analogy is each one of us is a beautiful instrument waiting to be discovered. When we discover it, we
And
learn how to play it. We can play it as a
yeah,
solo, but when we join an orchestra, each one of us in our own strength, we then transcend our music out into a
yes.
ripple effect that has a profound effect on people. So this is your instrument, literally. This is
Mm.
your instrument, and you will get to play it now with the orchestra and the orchestra of the children.
Wow, I can't wait for that seriously. I can't wait to listen to real children celebrate these
Yes.
songs. If I've had so much fun, and if well, I don't know if it'll resonate with them like it did me, but if they would, I'd be like, wow, this has made it worth it. If kids start feeling the songs, they'd be like, wow, I'm so glad I can feel this. Oh, this is what it meant, that kind of stuff. Oh, this is the way to have fun, dance and sing and be totally like kids.
I've just had another little epiphany here is that when the book comes out, invite people to record their children singing it.
I've already done that on the web page created for and I said yes and asked them to send it here or
Yes,
actually
but
post it on the Instagram page.
no, 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 no,
No.
no. Take it a bit further. Compile it together in a video, right? That then goes out, not only promoting the book, because yes,
Okay.
girl, get into promotional mode, but at any age, all of these children singing your songs
Mhm.
compiled together in a 3 or 4 minute video, going
Yes,
out there and saying, this is my orchestra, right? And putting out the music, not just one at a time, because it
got
gets
it.
lost in the streamline. Putting it out
Yes.
as a YouTube, there was a
Mhm.
brilliant I think it's the We Are the World compiled together of a whole load of singers of children.
Yes.
You
Oh,
saw that?
children.
Absolutely, all children.
No, no.
This is all children. And some are just playing drums or guitars. Some of them are handicapped. Some of them are fantastic singers. Um, and what they've done is each one of them has sung their little bit and then they compiled it together into a video. Every time I watch it, I cry. It is so beautiful. It is so
Wow.
meaningful. And our children are so gifted from all walks of life. When the book
Yes.
comes out, put out a
Mhm.
campaign. Send me your
Mm.
video of singing any one of the songs, and I will put
Mhm.
it together. And of course, the parents then will have to sign off that permission for it to go up into a video. Even
Correct.
to
I'll
go up on
remember
your
that.
social media has to do that. But then
I'll remember that.
compiling it together as a video going out, not only promoting the books. Yes, girl, be shameless about it. Promote the goddamn books, okay? But also the inspiration that the books have had on the children and putting
Yes.
the songs that you wrote for them, of them singing together in one YouTube and sending that out to the world. Now people will want to book you for your concerts.
Like there's so much time to do all that, but yes, I hear you.
No, they don't have to do all 200 books. You're only doing 5 minutes.
Got
5 minutes,
it.
whatever amount of time it takes, 5 minutes, 5 or 6 kids, maybe 10 kids max.
Oh, and
Uh,
you're saying in the same video can have different songs compiled
yes, of
kind of thing?
course.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Okay, okay,
All
okay.
different artists that send the song
Mm.
and compile it together, and you can put it together in whichever rhythmic way
Stitch
that
it
has
up
its
and all
transcendent,
that stuff.
and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
put it out of 5 minutes. More people send you, then you do another 5 minute one.
Oh,
But
that's
it's
now I get it. Now I get
right.
it. Yeah.
And then you
Hmm.
just put it out there always shamelessly. And if you can't do that, send it over to me. I'll do it for you with the
No,
book
thank
link
God.
and everything else to go
Mm,
out there. Right. That
mm,
the
mm.
songs are in this book. Let's set your children free to sing and let that be your promotional package, but also that invitation to create that orchestra.
Yes, yes, of course. That's certainly in the agenda. That's important. I want them to be part of the project. If that's if they are interested, but I would
Yes.
like for them to be part of
Yes.
it.
Well, that's the thing.
It's my
You're inviting
desire.
them to be that. And I know that there'll be kids that are really want to be doing that. And then having it as a video, it's not just on your social media where they have to go to it. Now it can be on their social media, everybody else's
Exactly.
social
Just
media, and it can start
absolutely.
gaining its own momentum and its own
Hmm.
movement. And the
Hmm.
meaning of the songs being sung by the children, right? That you've written or even sing along with them, it's there. It's beautiful.
That's the reason I gave the minuses. I know how important it is when you promote music to also give the negatives. So that,
Yeah.
I mean, I see negative without the lead vocals. The backing
Yeah.
vocals are there. So they
Yeah.
will be actually singing lead. My backing vocals are there.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
it's all with harmony or disharmony doesn't matter. The point is that they are singing to the
Yeah.
actual song, the real
Yes.
studio orchestration, right? Which is good,
Right.
not just
Yeah.
something.
Mhm.
Anyway,
I
lovely
think it will
speaking
have
with
a
you.
massive impact. I
Okay.
really do.
Thank you,
That
Sarah.
show we will
Appreciate it.
do on the videos. We've got a lot more to come. As I know this is just the beginning. This book is just the beginning. I know we're going to do a lot more shows on this because I love this project. I love the whole
Thank
meaning.
you.
I can't wait to get the book myself for my grandchildren and just, the whole beauty of what it means, the whole platform. And I see the life of what it's going to become and where it's going to go. I see TV shows. I see millions of people watching on YouTube. I see the books being flown off the wall, becoming a part of the musical education at the school. I see it taking on a life of its own, and that's where you are going to be going with it. So,
Thank you. In fact, the publisher was telling me that there are 152 countries where the usual Amazon and stuff are not there, right? So, whatever portal we're using to sell the book in those countries, the profit margin is minuscule.
yes,
But the point is that it's still going to go to those countries, which
yeah,
otherwise will not have access to this book. And I
right.
said, we definitely should do it.
Yes,
It's just reaching it out to humanity. How can we just
exactly.
choose pockets of humanity and say, oh, only this country can have all the
You're right,
books because it's
exactly.
profitable?
This is around the world, obviously English spoken. So, but the
Yes, yes.
amazing thing
But
is
who knows?
children of different,
Languages may happen later, Sarah. I believe
exactly.
that,
Yeah.
that could happen. Of course
But
it
but I
could
mean,
happen.
how many
Yeah,
people who do not speak a word of English can sing English perfectly, right?
correct.
So it's just singing the song and them understanding the words. But yes, translation can definitely come out later. But right
Mm.
now, this is where I see it going. I see the videos, I see the concerts, I see the TV appearances. I see these books becoming mainstream in schools, in libraries, when they have reading sing time. What a great thing for that as well. And most certainly households where it becomes, their library, 200 songs in each book, right? 5 books. I mean, what a
Wow.
fantastic library that is
Indeed,
for
I'm
the
sure it's
children.
special. Yeah.
And
Cool.
then something that becomes, whether, I mean, yes, there may be something to replace QR codes down the road, but QR codes are going to be here for a while. And I think that you're not going to need to worry about that. If anybody's buying all of the books, we're not worrying about that. That will be around. And if something else comes, then deal with that then. Right. But
It's fine. It's just going to be a newer technology. It's just like, see, as long as there was no physical format, that form of technology, I
mm-hmm,
believe,
mm-hmm,
will be perpetuated. You see, if it's cassette, CD,
yeah,
it's still a physical device,
yes,
right? So if it's the moment it's digital,
yeah,
now only if something happens to the link, the Google Drive and all, is that a problem, right? Otherwise, QR codes stay. And seriously speaking, since songs are given for free, I'm anyway going to put them on all the portals, Spotify, you name it, Apple, iTunes, whatever. It's going to go everywhere. It's
Right.
not just on the book.
Yeah.
The music is going to be everywhere. And you can also have it in the book.
Yes, exactly. And the book is
You
so
know,
much more
anyway.
fun because again of that interaction
Yes.
and the kid
Yes.
choosing a song in the book, going through the
Correct.
book, choosing a song. And what's this song? What's that song? You know, it just
Correct.
becomes that incredible library that keeps on giving back, which is just
Yes.
wonderful. I love
Yes.
what you're
Yes.
doing. I love the fact that
Thank
you
you.
didn't know what you were doing, but look what you're doing and look what's happening. You know, I love it. You went, you just allowed, you know, I'm always saying this is allow the universe to show you where you're going. Allow the universe to show you how to use your instrument. Allow, don't dictate, right? When you allow, you hear what is meant to be next, right? And then
Yes.
you just implement what is to be next and what is to come. But I see this being massive, absolutely massive. And I'm happy to be a part of it in any which way I can, my
I
darling,
appreciate that, Sarah. Really very kind of you. Thank you so much for that.
because it's a great project, a great project.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just reminded now that since the minuses that I've put out there have the backing vocals, which are, of course, English lyrics, I think I should also have minuses with just the instrumentation and no vocals at all. You know why? If people are going to do in other languages, then they cannot
Yes,
have the backing vocals in English. They'll just have
right.
to do
Yep,
another language. So
yep,
I'll remember that. We'll see.
yep.
Thank you,
Yes.
Sarah.
But please, on that, always make sure copyright.
Absolutely.
Make sure that's there. I don't want you to lose your
Yes.
music or lose
Yes.
the passion of what you're doing. Make sure you protect
Yes.
yourself there. Okay.
Yes.
All
I'll
right.
remember that. Thank you. Thank you.
But yes, no, this is going to be huge. I'm loving it. Now, right now, how do they hear the music? How do also, you know, I want them to go, you know, all I have to do when you come to selfdiscoverywisdom.com is put in Swapna Abraham, which is SWAPNA. Abraham, Abraham, put that name in. All of her shows will come up. All of her music will come up and her book will come up. She played in the dark, which is really cool. And I want you to go back and listen to the shows. Please go back and listen to the music. Just be a part of this. As soon as this new book comes out, it will be on her show page. But in the meantime, my darling, you know, your other music, how do they listen to it? How do they find you? Just give it all.
Yes, it's on my website, www.swapnaabraham.com, has got all my music. And the links to all the socials are all there on my website.
And of course, we've got the 1,000 songs in 1,000days.com,
That's
which
another website as well.
and of course, they can reach out to you, music at swapnaabraham.com, Facebook, Swapna Abraham, Instagram, 1,000 in 1,000, LinkedIn, your name. And of course, the book they can buy from Amazon. She played in the dark.
Correct.
What's that all about, folks? So go and read that. And please come back and listen to the other shows. Come and listen to the other shows because we talked in depth about the other journey of the 1,000 with the adult songs and just, you know, everything else that you've been compelled to do and obstacles that you've faced along the way. But, you know, the one thing you've got, my darling, is tenacity and resilience and truly a gift, which is beautiful. And I love where it's going. I love where it's
Thank you.
going. And I think this
Thank you, Sarah.
journey
Appreciate that.
with the books and things is just going to be quite a long journey that's going to change your life as well as the lives that it affects. So,
Thank you,
oh,
Sarah.
wonderful.
Appreciate that.
I'm
Thank you very much.
excited. I'm
I am.
excited.
And for all listening, I just wish everyone the very best in this journey of self exploration. May you reach your core self and your best self. We all have that.
And, you know, like obviously, you know, in January or any time now, you're going to put up a pre-order on Amazon so people can pre-order it for it to launch in
Yes,
February. And so
indeed.
as soon as you've got that link, it's going to be here on the show page, folks. So please just come back and look for it and so that they can get their order in for the book because it doesn't matter when you give it. But imagine in the love month, which every month should be a love month, folks. But, you know, we kind of focus in on love in February of giving this love to your children in this form of the book and the music, right? A great time to give it. So um,
Indeed.
the
Thank you.
pre-ordering of the book will come out soon too as well. Always a delight. Always a delight. I love you. You're a wonderful woman. I love what you're doing. And
Likewise, likewise. I have so much admiration for what you're doing. Can you
oh,
imagine?
it's easy with
10
people
years,
like
did
you.
you say 10 years or
It's 11
11?
and a half years of
11 and a
podcasting, but
half.
10 and a half years with my own network. So
Awesome.
yeah. Yeah. When we love what we do,
Congratulations.
right? We're compelled to do it
Yes,
no
yes.
matter what the storms are, right? We, and
I
you,
love what I'm seeing now. It was painful doing it.
yes,
And I'm sure I may just cry when I see the
yes.
physical book
Oh God, you will.
because this was not even a dream. I
No.
don't even know how this came together.
This was an
Anyway,
allowing. This was an allowing of
thank
just
you.
going,
Thank you.
letting it evolve, just like the songs kind of wrote themselves, the journey of what these songs were meant to be. And you've allowed it, you haven't dictated it. And there's so much more that these books are going to do. I just see massive, totally massive.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And I can't
Thank you.
wait to hear the kids singing the song, and the YouTube that I'll share like
Likewise.
crazy and everything else. So, yes, there's so much to come from this. It's exciting, very, very exciting. So, folks,
Lovely.
please do follow her and please do go back and listen to the other songs. Reach out and read her book. But as soon as she's got, pre-order link for the Amazon, I will put it up there. Pre-order it. This is a wonderful gift to give to your children, to your grandchildren, to maybe the daycare school, or to the teachers. From,
Yes.
basically, I would say, quite honestly, I know my grandson's going to love this, so 2 to 12. And again, that maybe even older. And I'm also going to say children with autism, children with Down syndrome,
Yes.
children on the spectrum.
Absolutely.
Absolutely no age bracket there whatsoever. They're going to
Yes.
love this. They're short and sweet and easy
They
for
would
them to
love it.
follow. They're going to love it. So this book is just going to open doors and open hearts and open voices. It's just going to be absolutely wonderful. So thank you, Swapna, my
Thank you.
darling.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Until we meet again, and I
And
wish you all the best and the best of the season as well.
yes, to you too, and to everyone else, right? I'm sorry we haven't got a
Thank
link for
you.
you right now to buy the book, but come back. February is Love Month. She'll have it then. But in the meantime, you can buy her other book. You can listen to her other music and her other shows. She is a gift that keeps on giving. So until next time, folks, bye for now.
We're the children of the world, the children of the world. Red, white, black, yellow, brown, the children of the world. We're the children of the world, the children of the world. Different sizes, different shapes, the children of the world. We're the children of the world, the children of the world. Different tongues, different tribes, the children of the world. We're the children of the world, the children of the world. Different talents, different skills, the children of the world.
We hope that you enjoyed the show. There are so many more for you here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Just go to the podcast tab at the top there and you will see all the many genres and all 3,000 shows ready for your listening. We are here to serve you, to help you on your journey of life, and we know that through inspiration it begets invitation. We are supported by you, the listeners, and those that we interview. Anything that you can spare us in donation would be greatly accepted, and we do hope that you enjoy the next show.